Mommy, what's up? What's your name? Oh my God. Yo, you got WhatsApp?
What's up, baby? You want chica right now?
Not right now, because I'm going to meet my friend, go pick him up for breakfast. I mean for lunch. I will.
Okay.
I will.
Greetings, you polite savages, and welcome to another Tip Talk. The Passport Bro movement is a large and loose collective of men, mostly African American, who are traveling throughout the world looking for perhaps greener pastures, excitement, fun, with the hopes also of finding a good woman, perhaps. So what I'm going to do is we're going to watch this clip by a brother named Quis, his TikTok that has over 10 million views, and then we're going to come back and talk about it.
Mommy, what's up? What's your... Yeah, maybe. Freak. What's your name? Diana. Oh my God. Yo. You got WhatsApp?
Yeah. What's up, baby? You want chica right now?
Not right now, because I'm going to meet my friend, go pick him up for breakfast. I mean for lunch. I will.
Okay.
I will.
So, I was taught by my parents to keep your business out of the street. Now, look, I think it's very disingenuous to pigeonhole any movement, any group of people into one thing. The majority of men who are looking for relationships outside of the country are doing so because the family court laws and the laws in America are so slanted against men that they feel like they just can't get a fair shake anywhere. There's also men who want to see new things, meet new people. There's men who want to work abroad. There's men who just don't want to live in the United States, who find it exciting to possibly live in another country. And there's also a group of men who are basically just at it for the enjoyment of the moment. Now, this lady, she looks like, I could be wrong, and if I am, I apologize, but she looks like a lady of the night. I've always had a policy that I'm not a pocket watcher. This isn't JT, word to pocket watching with JT. And I also do not watch men's libido, meaning that whatever you do in your private time is your business. It doesn't involve me, and I find it disingenuous when people point fingers at other men for what they're doing in private. I've always maintained as long as you obey the laws of the land, as long as you are being dignified, that there's just no issue. However, we have to be careful about putting our business on the street. This beautiful lady walks up and they have a very casual conversation. In less than 5 seconds, she's ready to go with this guy. So I want you to take a step back and take a look at the optics. I want you to take a look at the optics. People who've never traveled before, people who only want to believe the worst thing about anybody who travels to a different country. As I said before, I traveled to a foreign country when I was 18 years old. I had a gig playing music, and when I came back, people assumed the worst of me because I went to, out of all places, Japan, and those little Japanese girls will just do whatever you say. See, people are willfully ignorant about other cultures, but what we have to do is not jump in their echo chamber and give them the confirmation bias. I mean, I got to keep it a stack. People do things all over the world. Some of the things that I would do, some of the things that I would not do. And like I said, this movement is not a monolithic group of folks just moving in one way, taking cues by someone. But what this group is a bunch of men who have decided for one reason or another to seek lifestyle and adventure other places. And apparently, and we have to be honest with ourselves, some of this lifestyle and adventure is not what we would call traditional relationships. It would be relationships perhaps with ladies of the night. So I think we have to keep it real. We have to not make mistakes and keep our business off the street. But we also have to be realistic with ourselves. We have to be realistic of what we're doing. And we also have to mind our image. You see, there's nothing wrong with this transaction that happened. There's nothing wrong with you walking up to a lady, getting her number, and seeing her later. The man's probably having the time of his life. He's walking around, beautiful Latinas everywhere. He didn't tell her to turn around and drop it and shake it for him. He didn't tell her to offer to come with him immediately. He didn't tell her none of that, but she volunteered. But it falls into the false narrative that all of these women are just loose and desperate. Now, I've been all over the world. I've been traveling since 1992. I've been to countries that have a higher standard of living than the United States. I've been to countries that have a lower standard of living than the United States. I've been to countries that have and lived there for years. I've been to a country with a currency rate that's in a US dollar's favor and been there for years. Basically, I've seen a few things and I've done a few things. And what I've noticed there is that people are people. People are not a monolithic type, a stereotype, or a generalization anywhere you go. Yes, generalizations are good for having general conversations. However, when you're dealing with a person on an individual basis, you just can't say that every type of Thai person is this way. Every type of Filipino person, Brazilian person, Mongolian person, Japanese person, Korean person, French person is one way or another. You can't say that every Morocco's like this and every South African's like this, because people are dynamic and they react differently. It's just like the ludicrous of saying that this one line will help you pick up any woman, or doing this will help you pick up any woman. That's just not how it works. And this system, this movement, whatever you want to call it, this loose collection of men looking for something that they can't find in the United States will never prosper if we don't keep our business off the streets and we don't react accordingly. You know, I love Kevin Samuels. I love Kevin Samuels, not in a way that I thought that he was the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I loved his message of repairing the black image, the black male image, his message of men being stand-up men and having traditional families. And I'm all for people who want to leave because they just feel like they're beat down in the United States. And if they want to get a family from a foreign lady and live their life in a different country because they feel like they need to, that's great. I'm also for men going and having fun. That's great too. Obey the laws of the land, but you have to do it in a dignified way. Nothing against this brother. He's a great content creator, big following. A lot of people know him, but this is a bad look for Passport Bros in general, because this is going to be fuel to the fire of what they say that we are. And we are not one thing. I mean, there's folks who go places just for fun, who go there for a few days. There's people who go places for months at a time. There's people who go to a place like shout out to Brazil, yes, and live in Brazil. I mean, shout out to Austin Hollerman. He's traveling the world. He was in Brazil, and then he decided, no, after things didn't go how he imagined it go there, he went to Asia. I see him having amazing travel vlogs. As a matter of fact, I'll say this. Mr. Holloman's content is so great in Asia, probably because he's not so attracted to Asian women that he can actually concentrate on being a great YouTuber. His travel blogs are great. The information is great. What he's eating is great. And his personality shines through more. So I will say this, for this entire movement, fellas, you have to react accordingly. We have to get better. And this is not to disparage the gentleman who was out there who's making this content. I mean, listen, man, you did what you did. You know, you got 10 million views. But I just want you to think, everything we put out there, all money isn't good money. Everything isn't a great thing. And this has nothing to do with disparaging the guy. I mean, hey, do your thing, my friend. I'm not going to pocket watch you, and I'm not going to watch your libido. But what I'm going to say is the image that we put out is super important. It's important for a legacy, and it's important to how we are viewed, because how we are viewed affects how people are treated. And I also want you to think this. A great amount of people in the United States don't have passports. I mean, there's a backlog right now for getting passports because so many people want to get up and get out. But most people, they're never going to leave the country. And they're going to live vicariously through you as a person who makes travel vlogs, as a person who makes content about a different nation. Shout out to Tip Passports with my guy KD. We have a lot of content coming right away. Up to 19 subscribers, we're going to drop some content soon. We're going to give you some real information of what to do, how to get there, and how to have fun when you're there. However, we have to do it, and we have to mind our image. Regardless of what you're doing, we have to mind our image. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that perhaps all of the Passport Bros out there, all of the travel guys out there, do you think perhaps it's time to start some discretion? That's all I got for you, you polite savages. Like and subscribe, hit us up on all social media networks. Any suggestions for things that you want us to cover, drop it on the gram. THPP Network, especially from our members. Our TIPTube membership is very affordable. It's like a cup of coffee. And as always, ask yourself one burning question. Can you handle the tip? We're out.
My sound, the slaughter every sound. My sound, the slaughter every sound.
This is the Happiness Podcast. I'm Grover.
Oh, yeah, it's my turn. I'm Scotty.
This motherfucker right here, boy. Leave your comments and like and subscribe on YouTube. Booty in your face.
My sound, the slaughter every sound.
We found true happiness.